Our News is brought to you by Alive.
Believe in best.
Coming up tonight on Our News, police investigating 2 murders on Independence Day. Meanwhile, a pedestrian struck and killed in the airport industrial park. And high school graduates eye careers in farming. Welcome to Our News, and thanks for joining us. I'm Jared Higgs. Topping news tonight, police are investigating 2 killings on Independence Day that took place just over 12 hours apart. In the latest incident, officers were called to the scene of a shooting in Ridgeland Park West. Police press liaison officer ASP Audley Peters tells us what happened.
Officers responded, and on their arrival at the scene, they met the body of a male lying in the parking lot of an apartment complex. Our preliminary inquiries are that we're going door to door, canvassing the area and seeking information from members of this community, and we appeal to members of this community who may have any information as to what occurred here this season.
Peter says the victim is in his 20s. He was the second person shot and killed that day. At around 7 a.m. on Saturday morning, a man was gunned down in the Sunset Park area. Peters was asked about their concerns due to the 2 incidents.
Certainly we are concerned. However, we are also grateful for the support of members of the public that are assisting us with the information with respect to firearms. We would have taken 2 of them off the street early in the week, and that's an encouraging. However, we want them to continue to call us if they're aware of persons who have firearms, because everyone knows someone, whether it be by a pillow talk or whether it be by confidence in somebody, that someone is in possession of a firearm.
Police also investigating a traffic fatality where a pedestrian was killed. The incident took place on Airport Industrial Park Drive at around 9 p.m. last night. According to ASP Audley Peters, officers know who the victim is.
A driver was traveling south on Airport Industrial Road when an individual was struck by a vehicle. The Traffic Investigation Department is investigating that matter. The individual has been identified, and we will continue our investigations.
Moving on now, Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis is warning about the danger of the Delta variant of the COVID-19 virus while urging Bahamians to get vaccinated. He made the comments during independence celebrations which were televised on Friday.
There is something each of us can do to help this Bahamian revival to gather pace. We must continue to get vaccinated. The vaccines are the way to end this terrible pandemic.
Despite Minnis' suggestion, there are still questions over the availability of the vaccine doses in country. Government has had to borrow doses from neighboring countries, and another delivery of vaccines paid for through the COVAX facility is expected to arrive at the end of July.
The virus that causes COVID-19 spreads easily. The new Delta variant is becoming the dominant strain. It may be the most infectious version of the virus to date. Fortunately, the vaccines available to us have proven effective in protecting against the variant and other strains once individuals are fully vaccinated.
Bahamas Electrical Workers Union President Kyle Wilson says he's not too confident in the assertion by Works Minister Desmond Bannister that there will be no load shedding this summer. Wilson says from where he stands, there are reasons for concern, particularly regarding equipment.
Right now, currently, we are working to bring up everything. We're trying our best. The engines that can be resolved and fixed, we are all out maintenance-wise. That's their claim. Maybe from my point of view, I may see things differently. But they're the guys at the helm, and they're claiming that there may not be any load shedding, but I let you, the Bahamian people, be the judge of that.
Independence celebrations weren't limited to the Bahamas this weekend. Over in Miami, Florida, 500 Bahamians turned out for a Bahamas Gumbe celebration hosted by the first Bahamian elected councilwoman of Miami Gardens. Vonnie Tu is in Miami and filed this report.
It's all about the aqua, black, and gold on this Bahamian Independence Day, where our culture is on full display and Bahamian music is playing. But we're not in the Bahamas. We're in Miami Gardens Bunch Park, where there's a Goombay Festival underway, celebrating all things Bahamian. Not even Mother Nature could rain on the Bahamas Goombay celebration here in Miami Gardens, where dozens of Bahamian Americans came out to celebrate the country's 48th anniversary of independence. Bunch Park was decked out in gold, black, and aquamarine for the special occasion, held to celebrate Bahamian American heritage and the role Bahamians played in the history of South Florida. And what's a Bahamian celebration without the sweet sounds of Bahamian music? Recording artist Julian Believe also hit the floor representing the 242. The event was hosted by the first Bahamian elected as councilwoman here in the city of Miami Gardens, Shannon Lady Ighodaro.
It is so important, I believe, to recognize not just the cultural accomplishments of Bahamians in Nassau, Bahamas and the Commonwealth, but in the city of Miami Gardens. There would be no city of Miami without the contributions of Bahamians. So I was excited to host the 48th year of independence for the Bahamas in Miami Gardens.
Ighodaro didn't just bring the sounds of the Bahamas to Miami, but the taste of the islands with native conch salad. Wearing the colors of the national flag, Bahamians and those with roots in the Bahamas turned out in large numbers to enjoy the festivities. The day wasn't just about celebrating Bahamian culture, though, but honoring those who have pushed Bahamian American heritage, like U.S. Congresswoman Frederica Wilson, who says Bahamians should be proud of all they have accomplished.
Be proud to be the vacation destination of the world where everybody wants to come to the Bahamas because you made it like that. You made it inviting. You made it wonderful. And we are all so proud to be Bahamians.
Also honored were Oscar Brennan Sr. and Langston Longley, who says Junkanoo runs in his blood.
We persevere. Yes, sir. We triumph. We survive. And now we're Bahamian American.
And what we're celebrating here is comparable to what would be referred to in the Bahamas as the People's Rush, which is independence. Give recognition to Barabbas and the Tribes. My favorite, who I grew up with Junkanoo with, was Mr. John Chipman.
Showing her Bahamian pride in black and aquamarine, Bahamas Consul General Linda Trico Mackey held her own on the dance floor.
A celebration of who we are as a people, our heritage, our culture. We've embraced it. Our Junkanoos are here everywhere. They're celebrating with us, so it's exciting. I feel like I'm home in the Bahamas, so it's great to connect with our people.
This Bahamian, who moved to Florida in 1958 and helped to form a Junkanoo group here, says he would like to see Goombay here in Miami.
We want to bring back a Goombay here because Goombay bring people together.
Celebrations won't end here. Several events will take place this holiday weekend. Reporting from Miami, Florida for our news, I'm Voynich Tu.
Amid speculation that there may be an early election, the Freetown Member of Parliament is reflecting on his time in office. He told Berthany McDermott that he's confident he'll be re-elected.
I think I've been very successful. Hopefully the constituents of Freetown will see fit to re-elect me. And I think I'm the best representative for the area.
Freetown Member of Parliament Dionisio de Aguilar expressing confidence that he will again be the area's MP after the next general election.
I am, but that obviously is a decision that will be made by the Bahamian people, and they obviously have to do their evaluation and come to their conclusion. And I'm not going to be so presumptuous as to think that it's in the bag. I've got to work hard, and I've got to continue to work hard for the Bahamian people, and certainly for the constituents of Freetown. And then they will make their choice on election day. Hopefully it's for me.
In the 2017 general election, De Aguilar defeated Progressive Liberal Party candidate Dwayne Monroe by 1,010 votes. He will go head-to-head with Monroe once again in the next election. The Minister of Tourism and Aviation said while he's had a good run, there's more he could have done.
So I've had a wonderful team, and we've had a wonderful run thus far. Obviously, we would have liked to have done more, been on the ground more, but we have been very productive in fixing up a lot of our basketball courts and parks and all of those areas that are used by the constituents of Freetown. We've made a lot of contributions to the schools to help the students. We've had an art program in the Uriah McPhee.
De Aguilar said he also made efforts to empower Freetown residents to start their own businesses.
You know, being a businessman, I've been very focused on trying to empower people to start their own businesses. We had a lot of business training programs to help people understand how to start a business and to operate a business. And obviously there's been all of the individual persons that we've had to help for one way or another during the pandemic.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Anthony McDermott.
Still to come on Our News, the PLP's deputy leader is concerned about home porting in his constituency. Plus, there are also concerns raised over Customs' new click-to-clear system. That's coming up when Our News returns.
Odette Carey Russell, Director of Products at REV. We're accustomed, obviously, with using multiple devices in our home, but we're always, either downloading or streaming things. And when you're talking about fiber, you're actually talking about speeds that are 10 times your regular cable internet services. Say, for example, you're downloading a 2-hour HD movie. If you were to download a 2-hour HD movie on DSL, it would take you 60 minutes. If you were to do it on cable internet, it'll be about 12 minutes. But if you did it on fiber, it'll be 1.2 minutes. And so speed is definitely one of the big selling points when you're talking about fiber. We know power outages are pretty common. But if you have a power outage, the reality is if you have fiber, it's not susceptible to also being out as well. So the reliability in the sense of having fiber through a power outage, you would still have continued services as long as you have a generator that resides within your home. So those are some of the great benefits of fiber: reliability, speed, consistency. It's just robust.
Welcome back. 1 week after Crystal Serenity began home porting in the Bahamas, Exumas and Ragged Island Member of Parliament Chester Cooper is concerned about the strain this may have on the island's infrastructure.
We are generally concerned about the capacity of the island. We're concerned about the strain on our infrastructure. We are concerned, for example, that many of our beaches do not have public restrooms. So when we have an additional 900 persons descending on the public beaches in Exuma, for example, with no restroom facilities, and I've raised this issue already with the Ministry of Tourism, we are really headed towards an environmental situation.
Cooper said they're also concerned about the possibility of dumping in Bahamian waters and added he still isn't satisfied concerns surrounding home porting were addressed.
Many Exumian business people are looking forward to the arrival of Crystal cruises, but as the Member of Parliament responsible for the island, I want to sound the alarm that we must ensure that we have all of the regulatory framework in place to really monitor what is happening.
President of the National Import-Export Association, Glennet Fowler, fears that the introduction of Bahamas Customs Click-to-Clear online portal will have a detrimental effect on local shipping in Freeport, Grand Bahama.
We cannot say it definitively, but based on how the system is set up, only brokers or persons with authority with the authorization from Customs can access Click-to-Clear. So that means that small business will have to hire a broker to declare those goods at month end. So the challenge is, why should I as a business purchase bonded goods locally when in fact, if I imported those same bonded goods on a pallet, I can now clear them in one time with a broker at the border and have my paper, pens, ink, lumber, whatever it is, because now I'm getting the better buy at the border.
Fowler said the additional requirement of bonded goods entries incurring a $10 processing fee per customer purchase, along with the seller of bonded goods having to submit details of the declaration, well, that'll put a strain on businesses with insufficient manpower, she says.
There's not a lot of industry around right now. There's been a lot of closures. There's been a lot of shutdowns due to COVID and the hurricane. Persons have still yet to recover. We're just thinking that this is not the best option for business owners to go, for customs to go in this direction for business owners at this time.
Click Declare was expected to launch July 1st, but was postponed to September after the NIEA submitted a letter outlining its concerns to Minister of State for Finance, Kwesi Thompson. The NIEA is hoping to meet with officials who suggest another way forward.
We are asking within the next week to have a discussion. We are working collectively together as a group to provide viable solutions or options that customs can consider as a means to help them with their issues with the bonded and over-the-counter purchases, but at the same time alleviate the strain that is being placed from the current way they would like to move forward with Click to Clear. So we're hopeful that we should be starting to get responses from the letters that we would have sent out. We did get acknowledgement from Dr. Janine Moss, the Comptroller of Customs, that she would be back to us with her notes or comments on the letter. And so we're hopeful to move forward in that method.
Up next, high school graduates excited about a future in farming. And later, find out the quote of the week. Stay with us.
Every new season of On the Record, we push the limits. Venture into unknown territory. We take our cameras into places unseen before. We share the stories and experiences that affect us all. And now it's time for Season 5. On the Record, Thursdays at 8 p.m. on RTV Cable Channel 212 and streaming live on Facebook on the R News Bahamas page.
Welcome back. Two recent graduates eyeing a future in the farming sector. The CV Bethel students say they're interested in being entrepreneurs. 18-year-old Joshua Simonet holds his awards closely as he reflects on life after high school. Now a former student of CV Bethel's agriculture program, Simonet says the practices are ingrained in him.
Over the years, I've developed a passion for agriculture, and it just became a part of my life. Nowadays, I do agriculture, and it's like therapeutic.
Simonet will head off to a university in Alabama where he will take up a music scholarship. Bamsey is in his future plans, but he won't be joining his classmate, Shante Smith, just yet.
When I came to CV Bethel, I wanted to be a doctor. And over the years, I really thought about it, what I really want to do with my life. And I was like, this ain't what I want to do.
Smith, who will turn 17 on Sunday, realized in her second semester of senior high that agriculture was her true passion. She also proudly displays her awards for an agriculture speech competition in which she placed third and Simonet placed second among high school students in the country. The farming industry has motivated her and given her a loftier goal.
But I also want to go back to school because I want to be the minister, the first female minister of agriculture one day.
Smith and Simonet are part of a graduating class that saw a major disruption to their final year and a half of high school. During that time, there was an increased focus on agriculture as the country reckoned with its reliance on imported food during the economic crisis brought on by the pandemic. With the lessons learned toiling the plot of land carved out for their school's agriculture program, they hope to both become entrepreneurs and offered this advice.
In times like the pandemic, we can't really go out, we can't really touch. And if everybody would get into agriculture, they would have their own little thing going on in the backyard or something like that. So they wouldn't really be need to go to the food store or anything.
I know they downplay this industry, but it's really worth it. And trust me, the money coming in sooner or later.
Still to come, we count down the most memorable quotes of the week, so stay with us.
Hey, guess the special Charlie Bahamas summer season. Okay, we're gonna be out and about all throughout the islands. We're here in Staniel Key with the swimming pigs, but we're gonna be all over. So come join the ride with us, okay? The Charlie Bahamas show every Friday at 8 p.m. on Cable Bahamas 212.
Come check out the new Charlie Bahamas special summer season day and time. That's every Friday night at 8 p.m. on our TV, channel 212.
Yeah.
Welcome back to our news. It's time now for your quote of the week. At number 3, Bahamian artists felt left out when the organizers of the Independence celebration opted for international gospel music instead of Bahamian music. They had their say at a press conference.
No government should ever tread every Independence show. You should have more than 95% of the content being strictly Bahamian. 100%. I'm not being, and I was being gracious. I'm not trying to be a purist.
Coming in at number 2, Dr. Nakia Forbes revealed that all hospitalized COVID-19 patients are unvaccinated, with only a very small fraction having 1 dose of the vaccine. PMH Hospital Administrator Mary Walker stressing the same at a news conference the following day.
The last 5 to 7 days, we are at capacity at Princess Margaret Hospital, and the more severe persons are actually being taken care of for ventilated purposes at Doctors Hospital West, and South Beach as well had 2 ventilated patients.
And your quote of the week comes from Minister of Foreign Affairs Darren Henfield. In the hours after Haitian President Jovenel Moïse was murdered in his home, Henfield appealed for order in that country.
We call for calm in Haiti. We call for constitutional law to be observed in Haiti. We call for cooperation of all sides.
Thank you for joining us for our news tonight. To catch our news on the go, you can download the Rev Go Play app. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Jared Higgs. Have a beautiful evening, Bahamas.